So this is the trombone. Well, on the face of it, a very simple looking instrument, but in actual fact, it has to be made very accurately because the slide has to slide. So what I'm going to do now is to show you how to look after the slide and also how to look after the bell, which is this part here. Now the bell has a tuning slide which helps to keep the instrument in tune, which now and again needs to be cleaned and for the grease to be removed. So all we have to do is to remove the old grease first of all with some paper kitchen towel, like that. In exceptional circumstances, you can, being very, very careful, use very fine wire wool. Sometimes you can get a little bit of verdigris, it's a little bit like brass rust, actually on the brass itself. So a little bit of wire wool, very carefully rubbed onto the verdigris, will wear that away. Then just use the paper kitchen towel again, just to wipe off any excess. All we then do is to use some tuning slide grease, nice messy stuff, and the same on this one, rub it in there, and then try as carefully as possible to put this in as straight as you can, and then rub off any grease that you've put onto the tubing. So that will now slide nice and easily. Now I'm going to show you how to clean your slide, and hopefully it's going to feel like glass afterwards. We remove the outer slide and first of all clean the inner slide with paper kitchen towel, like so. You're going to get a build-up of old grease, old oil, water, all sorts of stuff building up on here, and it's very important that it's kept as clean as possible. So nice and bright and shiny. Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say. Next is the more difficult bit, because now we have to clean the inside of this. Now the way we do that is to use a trombone cleaning rod, and on the end of the trombone cleaning rod is a hole, and we cut a piece of cloth. Now you're going to have to experiment with this because some trombones have bigger tubing than others. So the main thing is try small first of all and gradually get bigger and bigger until it feels as though it's nice and tight. And what we need to do is to make sure that it fills the whole of that tube and push the rod right up inside. Now don't ram it all the way up because we can put dents on here. That's not good. All we need to do is very gently push it in and out, trying to make sure that we don't let this rod scratch the inside of the tube. So just gently push it in and out like that. Now, if you find that there's a lot of dirt on here, then remove it and put a new piece of cloth on. So now I have cleaned one slide, I need to clean the other side. Again, exactly the same principle. Just push it gently up and down, removing any debris inside the slide. Now, if it's really bad, what you can do is to use some lighter fluid on the cloth and clean it with that, and then clean it with a new piece of cloth again, just making sure that it's totally clean. Okay. The next thing to do is to prepare the slide. Now we prepare the slide by using, you can use a grease, you can use an oil. I tend to prefer, it's a mixture really, and this is like a liquid cream. You give it a good shake and just dribble a few bits of this liquid grease onto the, what we call the stockings. On there, like that. Now then, once you've done that, making sure that you've got the lock in the correct position, push it in and just work it in and out a few times, like this. You can, if you like, put one leg in and just work it around carefully, like this. Now what we're doing, we're depositing a thin layer of grease, or cream, or whatever you're using, on the inside of the outside slide. What we do now is to remove the cream from the inside, like that. And then we spray a water spray, just an ordinary water spray, up and down the length of the tube. Now the reason for doing this is that first of all, I want to dilute the grease a little bit because it's a little bit thick. But also, another reason for it is that grease and water don't mix, and they actually form a barrier, and the water acts like little tiny ball bearings. And so it means that your slide feels a lot more slippery, a lot quicker, and all of a sudden, wow, fantastic. Now, I like to do this twice because I like to have the oil or grease as thin as possible. So once more, remove the water and the grease, and spray the slide again all the way down. And the great thing about this is when your slide becomes a little bit stiff, just spray on some more water, and it's so quick. And all of a sudden your slide feels like new again, and there you have one very quiet, very slick slide. Just remember, now it's so slick, it's very easy to forget to put the slide lock on. So always remember, put the slide lock on.